Next up, this is a topic I've been wanting to kind of get into with you for a few days here, about a week or so. Just popped into my mind when the rankings came out, and I saw Alabama at number one, and then right after that, they were showing on ESPN. I was watching; they were showing on ESPN. They were talking about Tua, and it just made me think about when Tua took Jalen Hurts' job in the national championship game and led Alabama to the comeback win, and then ended up taking his job the next season. So I wanted to debate this with you. Now that both these guys have been in the league for a couple of years, which one would you take today?
This is another tough one right here. But, this is the NFL. It isn't college. And I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts here. I just think he's he's got a better skill set. He's got the more of a quarterback frame, I guess you could say, bit more accurate on the deep ball. Tua is actually super, super accurate overall. Uh, but I do believe that Jalen's a bit more accurate on deep ball. Jalen is, in my opinion, also a bit more apt to use his legs and his athleticism a little bit more than Tua. You don't see Tua running too much. Um, Jalen will get on the move a little bit, and he'll use his legs to pick up a first down here and there. So I'm gonna go with Hurts. Honestly, I just feel like, especially this year, I think he's gonna have a breakout year. Eagles will probably win that division and make the playoffs. Um, Tua's got a first year head coach, whom I believe is going to have a great career. So there's a lot of unknowns. He's got Tyreek, which is going to be great. Um, Turnovers is what I'd like to see Tua cut down on. As accurate as he is, the passes he does miss. I remember a drive specifically in Week 1 last year. He takes them all the way down the field, takes Miami all the way down the field, doesn't miss a single pass until they get in the red zone, throws a pass to the end zone, picked off. And it's passes like that the incompletions. A lot of those are interceptions for him. He does fumble the ball a bit too, so like to see him clean up some turnovers. Um, Again, at the end of the year, I may feel a little bit differently, but right now I'm
Okay, yeah. I agree that this was a tough one. When I initially thought about it, I was like, "Oh, this is an easy decision for me." Then I started thinking about it, and really, both of these guys, have two different types of skill sets. Like you said, Tua is very accurate. He completes roughly two-thirds of his passes. He doesn't take the deep ball as much though. So obviously that makes a big difference. I think if you're talking about if we're gonna start a team, like a real team, right? And these are our two choices. I think it's a tougher choice for me. If we're talking about, like, let's say fantasy football, though, I think this is an easy choice. I would go with Jalen Hurts in a
oh
heartbeat
yeah, all day.
because because of the running dynamic that he brings with his legs. Of course, he's scored way more touchdowns with his legs than Tua has. So they both started. Oh, Jalen Hurts has started 19 games in his career. Tua started 21. Jalen Hurts is 9-10. Tua is 13-8. So obviously Tua has the advantage as far as the record. But when Jalen Hurts was the full time starter in his first year, he took his team to the playoffs. Now, I think he's poised to take a big step forward. You know me, I've been hyping him up for the last couple of years since he came into the league. I think he's going to be, a great player when it's all said and done. I think for him, though, to continue to evolve, out of the nine, here's an interesting stat. Out of the 9 games that they won last year, none of them were against teams that made the playoffs. So I think the next step for Jalen Hurts and really that young Philadelphia Eagles team overall is to now start to string together and stack wins against winning teams, quality
Quality
teams,
teams.
build that confidence up so that way when they get into the playoffs, they're more confident. Obviously, it's more competitive, things of that nature. So again, I think that's the next step for him. I agree with you. I would take him over Tua at this point, but the book is still being written. That could definitely all change. Tyreek Hill does add a new dimension to it. and maybe Tua starts throwing the ball, downfield more because he's got that burner. I think honestly, the guy who's going to benefit the most with Tyreek Hill going to Miami, believe it or not, is going to be Waddle. I think he's gonna love playing with Tyreek Hill and having Tyreek draw that double coverage and being able to find himself in a lot of one-on-one matches. So,
Yeah.
but I know that's a different story. But I would definitely go with Hurts in this situation. I thought about it for a good while. Again, Tua is very accurate. He averages more yards passing, but when you look at the added dimension as far as running that Jalen Hurts provides, I would go with him just because of the way the NFL is going and that added ability down in the red zone to avoid having to throw those interceptions and run the ball in for touchdowns or instead. So that's why I would go with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah. Tua has, I will say this, this year with McDaniels coming in as his head coach, he's going to have, this is the best thing that could have happened for him. And this is definitely not a knock on Brian Flores because I actually like Brian Flores as a coach. I think he actually did great in Miami. And then to hear that they wanted him to tank, again, speculation. But the guy won games,
Yep.
and he won games with Tua. So, Tua's going to have a big opportunity here with McDaniels, who's more of an offensive minded coach. He's going to bring probably some really good play calling over, like Shanahan in San Francisco. So I think Tua is really, really going to benefit from that extra knowledge of someone who can really see things from offensive perspective and work with him on those types of things, which Flores, again, wasn't really known for that. But he was still a great coach.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think either one of these guys, if you're looking for a young quarterback, I mean, you really, either one of these guys have a solid future in front of them. It just depends on, coaching and the pieces around them on whether they can really maximize their potential.